Welcome to All That Matters with Matirio Matters, and I have my guest in the house, Jermaine and Ryan. And this is what matters to me and what should matter to you. And if it doesn't matter to you, then maybe it'll matter to someone you know. Then maybe it'll just matter to you later. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year's.
2015.
It's another year.
Yes, it is. And the hottest topic is resolutions, right?
Yeah.
Everybody makes resolutions for the new year, and a lot of them don't keep it. So we're going to run down the top 10 resolutions that are kept, according to a website I found. Okay. The number 10 resolution that people make for New Year's is to get more sleep.
That's an interesting resolution. To get more sleep, really?
Yeah, to get more sleep. Yeah. It says many Americans believe that their pathway to self-improvement can be found simply in getting a good night's sleep. Sleep is a stress reducer, helps you feel more energized throughout the day, and if you're having trouble sleeping, they suggest chamomile tea, how do you pronounce it? Chamomile tea.
What? Chamomile?
Whatever. Changing your pillow or investing in a sleep system.
Changing the pillow thing is good. Is a good idea.
Yeah, because I
think you get enough sleep.
No.
Why?
Because I'm on my grind.
I guess. The sleep makes a difference. If I sleep for 3 hours and opposed to 6 and opposed to 8, my energy is completely different.
Well, let me ask you this question: do you think that even getting less amount of sleep during the night and possibly taking a power nap during the day is also beneficial?
I think the power nap will help you get through the day, but I don't think you're still rested. I know that if I go to sleep for 3 hours and I take a power nap, I'm still tired probably 2 hours later.
Yeah.
It kicks right back in. So for me, I like to get 8 hours. Because I definitely can tell the difference throughout the day.
I think most people agree that Americans nowadays don't get 8 hours of sleep.
No. Unless you're retired.
Possibly. I'm saying like working class people who are, on their grind. A lot of people don't, maybe 5 or 6 hours of sleep. I think it's the norm nowadays.
Yeah, I guess when you're running and doing everything with everyone, and especially if you have kids, it's hard to get 8 hours. Your day runs late.
Well, I think getting more sleep is beneficial. I think, for all the reasons that I mentioned before, is important. But I think nowadays with the fast pace of how everything is just so rapid, I think people feel like they try to get everything done in one day, and so therefore, which results in a lack of sleep.
And there's never enough time in the day to get everything done.
There's not.
But that's interesting. I've never heard that as a resolution before.
Me neither.
To get more sleep.
All right, number 9 is volunteer to help others. And I guess that can be, a guilt situation where you feel like, oh, well, I have to start doing some good deeds in order just to offset maybe the bad things that you've done. I don't know. That's just the first thing that came to my mind.
It's a different way of looking at it. Some people do feel like they just need to do more. You hear all these commercials on TV about, get 50 Cent, and, just even talking to people, some of the things that they say or that they do in their daily lives to try to help other people out. And if you probably just do a self-evaluation, then you probably, some people may think like, well, I don't really do anything or give anything to anyone. I just live my life. So I think that's an excellent resolution. And then, a lot of people like to volunteer during the holiday times too.
Right. Well, I think that people should, people's hungry all throughout the year. It shouldn't just be during the holidays that people volunteer. Not saying that that's the only charity work that can be done is feeding someone. I also think it's good karma when you're helping someone else. And it doesn't necessarily always have to be with an organization. It could be even with some people that you just know, that you personally know, or someone that you personally know that knows someone that is in need of some type of work. And I think speaking of that, a lot of people get offended by saying charity you know, I'm not no charity case and things like that or whatever. You have to drop that ego. Everybody needs a helping hand. We all need each other.
Mm-hmm.
The more people come together, the better the result. You know.
Yeah, absolutely true.
You know. So let's talk about the number 8 resolution is people want to travel more often.
I love that idea. I would love to do traveling in 2015. You get out and see the world. You know, time is passing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was telling you earlier that, well, yesterday, it was either yesterday or the day before, marked 10 years for Rihanna's first song, Pond the Replay. And we were like, it's been 10 years
Right.
since that song came out.
Time is just is going by so rapid.
It's amazing how it just disappears.
Mm-hmm. It goes back to what I said with the number 10 resolution. It's because we live in such a fast-paced environment that fast-paced environment that people want to just, you know, trying to rush everything. Everything is rushed.
It is.
Everything is rushed. You gotta do this, you gotta do that. You know, and that could be because of because we're in an internet age. Everybody wants everything faster or whatever. But I think traveling is good. You have to at least leave from one side of town to the next. A lot of people stay in just their neighborhood.
It's so horrible.
You know, even though that's just a minimum thing as far as like travel wise. You know, when we talk about traveling, we talking about, you know, just getting out of your box, and experiencing new things. How can you go on living your life and you're just stuck in one area? You know, I mean, I guess if it works for some people and that's if they're content with it, then that's fine. But I would love to travel more often too. I want to travel abroad, but it's scary nowadays. Not these planes are coming up mission,
yeah,
you know, or whatever. You know, we can get on the inner tube like the Cubans or something. But even though they're welcome to come here now.
Right. Or even if it's a weekend trip. I mean, we live in Michigan. You can take a weekend and go up to Traverse City or up to Mackinac. Like it does.
Which is still in Michigan.
Traveling isn't a week. It doesn't have to be a week. A weekend is a good enough. It's a good amount of time for you to leave everything back at home and rejuvenate yourself, and at the same time experience something new. And you can still come back and feel like you've actually gotten away for a little bit.
So basically, make sure you travel physically, not just on social media. Because you're on social media and you visit somebody on social media that lives in North Carolina or otherwise, that doesn't count as traveling. Actually leave the state. Even if you're going over one state over, just experience it, see how other people are living. You know, social media is a great tool to meet people that's living out of state. You could become great friends with them or whatever, and maybe they offer you a place to stay.
They've got that app that came out a couple of years ago where people open their homes. I can't remember the name of it, but people open their homes and you basically go there and crash, and that's what they do. And people travel and they have a bed for you, and you don't even know that. You know, a lot of times, but in most cases, the folks don't even know each other. But they open their homes for people that want to travel, but maybe don't have the means to pay for hotels and things like that.
Yeah, if you're open to that, then I guess that's a great idea for you. The number 7 resolution that I find hilarious. It's funny. It's floss. People feel that they're gonna floss. Who comes up with this? I don't know. But floss. Let me read what it says. This one might seem too simple and easy to make as your New Year's resolution for 2015, but believe it or not, most Americans do not take care of their teeth with the simple art of flossing. This easy task can help improve overall hygiene and oral health. It is a great habit to get into if you keep it up. We recommend traditional wax flosses, or if you're adventurous, try floss picks or a water pick. And the thing about it, flossing is important because great dental hygiene it can also contribute to overall great health. You know, people can have heart attacks, a lot of things from, you know, bad habits, but not flossing is a really simple thing to do. I know it's some people feel it's a daunting task or whatever. I mean, you don't have to do it but once a day. You know, take the time out to do it. I wish that I need to floss more often.
You're supposed to floss after every meal.
Yeah, and I guess that's where people, you know, if you're at work or whatever, you know, I guess that's why a lot of people carry those floss picks.
Okay, so I absolutely.
It was just absolutely disgusting when I see
think
people at
it's
their desk.
so gross. Like, I don't want to touch any papers because I accidentally might touch a piece of paper and it's a chunk of chicken on the corner of this paper that you done picked up out of between your teeth. That's so gross. Ew. Ew. Can you imagine? It's a green bean just sitting on there. Or that's so nasty. But it is good, like you were saying. A lot of that, taking care of your gums and things like that, and flossing does play a factor in other parts of your body. Gum disease can cause a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Stuff building up inside of your teeth where there's nothing but nerves inside of there can cause other issues. So
and it ain't fun going to the dentist when you have to get drilled and all that kind of stuff. It's not a fun thing. This is something that I actually thought about the other day, and this goes on the fact of people who like to please people or make sure they take care of themselves, like pleasing themselves. And I was thinking, like, let me get to it. And this is really about even just brushing your teeth. Normally people brush their teeth, which is crazy, once a day. And the reason why they're brushing their teeth once a day, people who do brush their teeth, is to please others, because they know they're going to be in somebody's face. They don't want their breath to stink.
That's true.
But at nighttime, you need to brush your teeth also. See, when you brush your teeth at night, it's not to please others, it's to please yourself. Because the thing about it is, you're going to bed. You're going to sleep, especially if you're single. You're going to bed. So therefore, that lets you, if you really think about it, it's almost saying that, I'm not doing this for other people just so I don't want to have funky breath. I'm doing it for myself because I just want to have good oral hygiene.
That's a good way to look at it. That's a really good way to look at it. Are people gonna do that? I'm like, look, I'm tired and I'm going to bed.
You think about it. When people work out, are you working out to please yourself, or are you working out to please other people? You know what I'm saying? That's the thing about it. It's the inner has to match the outer as well. And I know that a lot of people don't even think that deep into it, but it really makes a difference.
It does. And then the thing about it is that, as taxing as it may seem, flossing, you can actually floss your teeth and do a really good job of flossing in like a minute.
That's right.
Like or maybe a minute and a half, but it doesn't take long.
And then if you think about it, even if you've never flossed in your life, which is absolutely disgusting, no judgment, but if you never flossed in your life, if you just think about a minute, that's not taking so much time out of your day. You'll still you'll get that more sleep, as we spoke about resolution number 1. It's only taking a minute.
That's funny.
All right, so let's go to resolution number 6. Save money and improve your finances.
I think this is an everyday. I mean, it's nice to put it as a New Year resolution, but people that I know, people that I don't know, conversations that I just overhear, that goes so far beyond December 31st on to January 1st. People talk about saving money all year long. All year long.
Do you think that saving money and improving your finances almost contradicts with the whole, I want to travel more?
No.
I guess it depends on what your job is or what your career is, if you can do that. But you know what? They have this money challenge that people do every year. I don't know how many people follow through it throughout the year, but I know there's a guy on my Facebook. I'm gonna shout him out, Robert Mack. He did the money challenge, and it's like you put up $1 the first week, $2 the second week.
Oh, I saw that.
And therefore for 52 weeks, and you treat yourself at the end of the year.
How much does it end up being?
A lot of money. I know he bought like a couple of bags and stuff like that. And he's and I just from his Facebook, I know he's not the one to boast about material things, because he mentioned that too. But he just stick with it. I admire people that stick with things, follow through. But if you think about it, it's not a lot of money to put up each week. I mean, it doubles. I think it doubles or whatever it is. Or you could just put in money challenge in Google and the chart will come up.
Interesting.
I think my mom is doing it too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it starts with $1 and for week 1. Then week 2 it goes to $2.
$1 1 week, and then $2 the next week, and then the third week is $3.
Oh, that's not bad.
And then it tells you like on the chart like how much money you saved that particular week so far.
That would be my thing. I don't want to see it. I just would rather put the money in and be surprised at the end of the year, like, ooh, I got all this money, and really I did, like, I put all of that aside.
But then what you want to do,
idea.
if you do like get the chart, then you might want to black out that part.
Yeah.
Because you want to make sure that you stay with the weeks that you're in. You don't want to get
Right.
confused.
I like that.
You know.
I like that.
All right. So number 5 is accomplishing your goals.
That's yeah. Yeah.
Here's the thing. Here's the things that I see what goes. A lot of people set unrealistic goals. You know, they'll come in the New Year's like, I want to lose 100 pounds. Don't put an amount on it. Just make healthier lifestyle choices. And because then if it is a weight loss thing, which I'm sure that's on the list, then don't necessarily announce it to everybody, because everybody's gonna be watching. If you put a cookie in your mouth, they gonna have something to say about it.
It's an
You know,
expectation.
it's an expectation that you put on yourself, and others, they're gonna be watching you. They're gonna try to hold you accountable for those things.
Because you're gonna have people,
and then you're gonna get
like-
discouraged and things like that or whatever. But set small goals. You can set a goal a week. You know, you can say like, you know, I want to eat more fruit this week. I want to maybe just drink three cups of coffee this week. You know, small goals like that, and write them down, and then hold yourself accountable for it, and then maybe reward yourself with $1 or $2. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I think that setting, if there's a particular number or a particular size that you're trying to get to, I don't think that it's bad to have that number and to set it for yourself, because that actually gives you a goal to work toward, instead of just saying, well, I want to lose weight.
But here's the
Well,
thing.
how much weight do you want to lose? Well, I don't know, 30, 40 pounds. Well, you have a number. And I think that for some people, sometimes setting a goal is good for them, because you have some people that are extremely determined, and they're going to do what they need to do to get to that number. So for some people, I'm sure that having a goal and something set in stone, you know, works for them, because it gives them something to work very specifically towards.
But here's the thing with that. When you set it, especially with weight loss, because first of all, everybody's body is different. So therefore, what works for one person may not work for the other. If you set a goal, say I want to lose 100 pounds in say 6 months, and then you don't accomplish that goal in that 6 months period of time, you're gonna get discouraged. I guarantee you, because you're gonna feel like you failed. So therefore, it's so much better to set small goals versus setting yourself up for disappointment. So you know, the thing about it is, I wouldn't say put a number on it. And then if you are gonna set a, you know what, we'll get to that, because I'm sure that's on the list, so we'll talk about that. But I think setting small goals, you can set big goals too, but as far as like something to that nature, I think setting small goals is more beneficial to your mind, or otherwise, you know, yeah, you can go hard that first week in January, the gym is off the hook. You can go hard that first week or whatever. Eventually your body's gonna tire out really, really quick. Pace yourself. I think setting small goals and accomplish those goals will be more encouraging than setting a big goal and maybe possibly setting yourself up for failure. Because you may not lose that 100 pounds, but you may lose 80 pounds. So therefore, are you gonna be disappointed with that? Because you're gonna feel like you may feel like you failed, even though it's a great accomplishment.
But it goes hand in hand with what you said. I can say I want to lose 60 pounds in a year. Is that something that can realistically happen? So you can set the number, but you have to also say, is it really realistic?
It is realistic depending on the person and their body, and you know, there's a lot of health issues that people have. People have diabetes, and you know, people will say like, oh, I want to eat less red meat. You know, they may say, you know, that's going to help my weight loss challenge or things like that. And the thing about it is, if you're diabetic or whatever your health issues may be, your physician may say that you need this red meat. You may need that iron or something like that. So you make sure that you do check with your physician before starting a weight loss challenge or whatever. Of course, when you want to be healthy, of course you want to eat, you know, healthier foods and things like that. But make sure that you do talk to a dietitian and a physician, especially if you have like, you know, special needs health-wise.
Goals is kind of broad. Because goals could be, I want to travel more. That's a goal for someone if they've never traveled anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So goals, I think goals.
And that's what it says. That's the first line that it says. It says, "This may seem broad."
It's very broad because
yeah.
it could be anything on the list.
Number 4, Rosetta Stone. Learn a new language.
I love that idea. So, at my job, I work in the call center, and from time to time, and the call center that I work in has an American side and a Canadian side. Well, I work on the Canadian side, so I talk to a lot of people. Everyone I talk to is in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Now, everybody knows that in Canada, there's also that French element. And I've gotten calls from people, and they run it down in French. And I'm like, hello, excuse me? And they say, I understand some things, pardon their mind and things like that, but then they want to shoot it all back out in French. And I'm like, okay, let me get you to whoever. I don't even know if you understood me, but I'm going to get you over. I had a situation where I was helping a young man out, really nice guy, helping him out, and we needed to get someone else on the phone to kind of assist us with what we were working on. And so I explained to the third party what we were working with. The young man that I was assisting, he jumped in and he was talking to him. Next thing I know, they start having a whole conversation in French. I'm just on the phone. And I mean, not like 2 or 3 sentences, I mean like a 10-minute conversation. Mm-hmm. And then he came back to me and was like, okay, Jermaine, so this is what we're gonna do. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then they start up in French. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't like this because I don't know. And then every once in a while I hear my name and I don't know anything that's followed behind my name. So I like the idea of learning a second language, and I think that also goes hand in hand with traveling. Because like you said, if you want to go abroad, Mexico or wherever, right. Well, yeah, then you can get around here, and function in a different country.
I love an app for that?
Rosetta Stone.
Is Rosetta Stone an app?
No. Yeah, they actually do. I think they do have an app for Rosetta Stone. Or you can do like how they do in the movies and get the thick book and then like be reading from it and be trying to translate at the same time. Like, so boo-boo. And you just said, like, can you please send me a turkey head? Thinking you said keep past the cheese. I like learning a different language.
I like that also. And just learning something new, period, really.
So if you could learn a new language, what would be the language you would want to learn? India. What is it? India. Yeah. Is it Indian? Yeah. That's the language that you would want to learn? Why? Because I want to, you know what? No, I take that back. No, I'm thinking like when you talk to somebody, and they're always in English. But they speak in English, it's just that accent. I'm like, I'm not gonna learn an accent. If I could, no, I'll say it's Spanish. Spanish, yeah. Which is, that's everybody knows Spanish or whatever. You have a large Spanish population. Mm-hmm. Here, so you definitely. That would be the first one that I would want to learn. That would be the first one. One of many, yeah. But then I have friends that are Latin, Puerto Rican, and stuff like that, and you can definitely get the practice. If you have friends that speak another language, you definitely would be able to use it at least with them, and then get the practice of keeping it as opposed to learning it. And what is it? How does the saying go? If you don't use it, you lose it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's always helpful when you have someone that does speak another language that that you can continually practice with. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. I like that idea. Learn a new language. Get on your Rosetta Stone. Learn anything. Just learn something new. Don't be afraid. Read a book. Number 3, go green. I guess that's like one of the new age things. So you know how I am about trendy stuff. Is it trendy? Because it's been going green. This has been going on for a long time. I mean, it's interesting hearing that from you because you want to get like solar panels on the roof. That's going green. It's going green, but it's bringing my light bill down. It's bringing my light bill down, number 1. So my motivation is for my light bill for me to have a zero balance when they send that light bill and they want to buy my power from me. Like, I think that is an awesome thing that you can turn paying bills around.
Your go green philosophy is saving money, not necessarily helping the environment.
For getting solar panels, I don't even see it as, I don't even call it going green. I'm trying to get my light bill to zero. Now, I do like to recycle.
Okay.
I do like to recycle. And you know, I do think that recycling and things like that does make a difference. I don't like, but to me, just doing things like that that's gonna help nature. The fact that it's going green and it's a thing now, you know, it's like just do it. Like, why make it into a whole thing? I get, you know, trying to do the push and really trying to get people to do it. I get it, but with stuff like that, sometimes it becomes over commercialized. Just like so many other things, and people aren't really doing it for the right reason. You know,
what would be the wrong reason for doing it?
Well, people may begin to recycle just because they see other people doing it, and to say that they do it, you know, it sounds good to say it, but they don't really hold to it. You may you know, throw a piece of paper in the garbage, you throw pieces of paper in the garbage, but yet, you know, you may say, oh, well, I take my bottles to the store. Well, if you're gonna go green, you can't. I personally think that if you're gonna do it and say that that's what you're doing, I don't think it's a one part. I don't think that you can say, oh, well, you know, I take my bottles to the store to get the refund on them, but yet any piece of paper that I get, I just throw in a regular old garbage. That's not going green. Going green means that you recycle paper, glass, metal. It's everything.
I think any small changes as far as helping the environment is great. I'm not saying, you know, some people may go partial green. They may go like teal or something like that.
Mint.
They may go mint or whatever.
Who goes mint? I ain't going all the way green.
You know, I may go this past way, but I'm gonna keep the paper or whatever. But I think, you know, that going green is a great thing. You know, it helps the environment. I mean, I know you don't like trends and things like that, but I think going green is not a trend anymore. I think it's actually starting to become a new normal. You know? That's
well, I know like some cities it's big, like San Francisco. Well, California, I think in a whole, like they are hard on it. But there's a reason. You know, in any movie, and even from people that live there, they talk about the smog. There's a reason why they need to do it there. If you can't walk out your front door and see, not from fog, but just from the smog in the air, and you have kids and you're just breathing in the pollution.
It's also landfills.
And it is landfills. So, I mean, that plays a part into it.
And then you got to think about the vehicles also. You know, now they have hybrid vehicles. That also helps with the environment.
And I know that's the thing with California.
You know, and I think once it becomes laws everywhere, and it's just going to be a thing. It's not going to be about going green. It's just going to become a normal. You never will hear go green probably again. All right, so number 2, which is, you can probably guess this.
Lose weight?
No.
Stop smoking.
Yep. Quit smoking and drinking.
Yeah, I would imagine. I'm not surprised that that's at the top. You know, people always try to quit smoking, and they're making it so much harder for people to buy cigarettes because they're not available at all in CVS, right?
Right, I think they took them out of that store.
Well, I'm just saying though that does.
I'm not trying to plug them.
Oh, well, you know, for that to be a major, you know, store,
right,
and they pop up like, you know, weeds.
Well, I think from what I understand, CVS philosophy was, you know, it's supposed to be a pharmacy. It's supposed to be like for health reasons and things like that. So they take them out the stores. Nonetheless, they sell all this this junk food in there anyway. So it's like, you know, what's the difference?
What big difference?
The tobacco industry is huge.
Yeah.
Tobacco industry is huge as well as alcohol. It's really huge. But you know, smoking is so old. It is so old, and it's so like, outdated. And it's interesting when I see people still smoking, and I'm like, really? That is so like 1970, 1980. You know, it's really out of style or whatever. You know, but small confession, I think it look cool in pictures.
Really?
I actually do. I think it look cool in pictures or whatever, but I wouldn't want to smoke. I mean, you think about it, we went to that cigar bar. I think those pictures were so cool that we took with the cigars in our mouth.
Oh, yeah,
You know, it looked
that
cool.
was fun.
It
That
was.
fun.
It was.
And it does look good in pictures, especially when you see like women and they
Yeah.
have a cigar. It can be quite sexy.
Now, what about drinking?
So to me, that seems like you may have a drinking problem, or you feel like you have a drinking problem. Not necessarily that you're an alcoholic, but you can't remember your weekends. You know, Saturday is a blur after you woke up.
Right.
You know, I can see why that would be on the list, but
Not necessarily quit drinking, but maybe not drink as much.
That's true.
You know, do it in moderation.
Which is why I said if you can't remember Friday night or Saturday night,
or what you're doing in conversations.
Exactly.
Which is what you're saying.
Exactly. You know, maybe you
Especially if you a dumb drunk where you can't handle your liquor and you just want to argue with everybody or fight everybody. That's crazy.
no one likes a sloppy drunk.
Right.
So yeah, I think that the drinking depends on in your everyday life how much you drink. Because I drink, but I can't say I need to cut back because I drink socially, and I may just have one drink and not even get a buzz off of it. I like margaritas. You know, so to me, it has that alcohol in it, depending on where you go to get it. It may be all fruity, but I like the sweetness of it.
Yeah, I drink also, but you know, the thing about me and my drinking, if I'm at a party or a club or something like that, and a lot of people's drinking there or whatever, I have to drink. I have to drink, or everybody's gonna get on my nerves.
Really?
Yeah, I can't function in a room full of people that's drunk and me being sober, and without them getting on my nerves, I get so irritated.
But
I don't even know why.
They're having a good time.
They are having a good time, but it's like I see them and they look just, and I'm pretty sure I probably look stupid when I'm drunk too, but they look stupid and I just can't fathom it. It's just, so therefore, if I feel like I'm on the same level as them, or you know, at least a buzz or something, then I feel better. But if you're drunk and there's 5 other people in the room and they're all drunk or whatever, and I'm not drinking, in y'all state or whatever, I don't want to be a bit irritated probably. And it's not y'all fault, it's me. But yeah, it's irritating to me.
That's interesting.
It is. That's why when people are drinking, I'm like, I need to get a buzz.
Wow.
Or I can't tolerate these motherfuckers. I just need to have something. I can't.
I don't mind. Like, if my friends are drinking, I don't always have to drink, and I don't mind drunk people. They don't bother me too much. People that I know, I've been around people that I didn't know that were drunk, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it is some people that I can tolerate being around if I'm not drunk and they're drinking, because they probably know how to handle their liquor better.
And there are friends that I have that they're like, oh, I'm buzzing. I'm like, really? I can't even tell. Like, you're the exact same way as you were when you walked in the house. That's a lifetime of drinking, honey. You can't even tell. And they done had a gallon or something on their own.
I remember one day I was getting ready to go to court, and an old friend of mine, it's like the first thing that he did when we got up, well, he got up and I went to pick him up, was grab a Budweiser out the refrigerator, like, do you want one? And I'm like, no, it's like 7:30 in the morning. And then it's like, you know, when you in the summertime, if you're doing something, you sweating or whatever, you can smell the alcohol coming from the pores, and it's just absolutely disgusting. He was straight up an alcoholic.
So that's drinking less.
That's stop drinking.
That's stop drinking. You
Yeah.
need to heat number 2.
Right, and of course everyone knows number 1.
Weight loss.
Weight loss, going to the gym,
yeah,
or whatever. And like I said, I think that pace yourself, don't overdo it, because if you overdo it, you know, you're gonna you're working muscles that you probably don't normally work, and that soreness gonna kick in, and you might get discouraged. You don't want to injure yourself. Also, check with your physician, and and know your limitations. Don't try to keep up with everybody in the gym. And I know, like, particularly bigger people, they believe that people are looking at them when they go to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, if anything, they want to be more encouraging for you to come to the gym. And I know this because I hear people say it all the time, like, oh, they don't be looking at me. Trust me, they're in there trying to get their workout, not to look at you. They don't care.
So you clearly work out. So when you go to the gym, I mean, do you see people?
Yeah, I see people, but I'm not judging them. If anything, if I see someone that's, you know, heavier than, you know, normal, then I'm happy that they're there. But because that's what the gym is for. Even though people go there to socialize and pick up people and things like that or whatever, but they're there for the right reason.
What gym you go to?
Well, I haven't mentioned that, but I'm just saying.
Nah, that wasn't slick.
It was very blunt. But yeah, go, you know, just pace yourself, and eat healthy. Eating healthy and going to the gym goes hand in hand. And I know that me particularly is that I am not a healthy eater. I try to be. It may last for a week. It may just only last for 3 days, but I like my sweets. But I try to work out as much as I can, and I go in spurts. Like I get them all, you know, like right now I worked out before we did the show. And it's like I go in those spurts or whatever, and then it's like sometimes just things just happen where it's like, oh, I can't do it or whatever. You know, and I believe that is okay. But as long as you keep picking yourself up, don't get discouraged because if you have a schedule and you miss a day, because this was my problem. If I have it on schedule that I'm going Monday, Tuesday, off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I miss that Friday that I'm supposed to go, then I'm like, oh, I messed up that whole week, and I'm upset with myself or whatever. And it's a mental thing, you know. But be encouraged, stay with it. Don't be discouraged if you just fall off track. Just keep going. Set small goals is what I spoke about earlier. Like say for, you know, you don't have to go to the gym 7 days a week. Even if you just starting for the New Year's, go twice a week.
You know, do stuff at home.
And you can do things at home. There are things that you can do at home. Look it up on YouTube. There's a lot of tips out there. If you're too embarrassed to go to the gym to start, there's things that you can do at home. You don't need the expensive weights and equipment and things like that. You can do small things, even if just using a chair, lifting your legs, just trying to get your heart rate up, even just a little bit, you know.
Because you're using your own body weight.
I think
so. If you're 180 pounds and you're lifting yourself, you're lifting subsequently 180 pounds, roughly. I mean, if you're lifting your body, depending on what you're doing, though. Right. If you're moving your body, then that is you working out. That is you, in a sense, lifting weights. And you know, the eating part is very important. It's very, very important.
Because it's going to give you that energy to work out.
Absolutely.
Be careful with all these supplements and things like that. If you're going to take supplements, you know, learn about them, do your research, talk to your physician, especially if you have health issues and things like that, to make sure it's safe for you to take. Because a lot of these things are not USDA approved. None of these supplements are. None of them. And just be careful with that.
Yeah, I'm not good with working out. I hate working out.
A lot of people do.
Absolutely do. And, you know, I know I've talked to you about it. You're like, oh, well, just do push-ups and, you know, start at home. And I'm like, yeah, well, you know, I get to number 5 and I'm like, okay.
But you like to dance.
Well, yeah, and that would be my cardio, but it's a contradiction for myself because I want the muscle and I want to build the muscle. I don't want to build I don't want to do the work though to build the muscle. I start a push-up and I'm like, I'm so over this. I get to 5 and I'm like, I said 25. And I just think 5 would do for me right now. I just don't like it. But in order for me to reach the goal and to get the body that I want, I know that it's something that I have to do. I just have to find the determination within and just really, you know, say that I'm going to do it and then just do it. Because, my nephew, I've talked to my nephew about this. He works out. He's like, well, it's the results. And I'm like, but I don't care about the results. I got to get there first.
A lot of people have a problem with just having motivation just to even get started or whatever. But I tell you this, is that also, sometimes the motivation is in the results. When you start working out and you start seeing results, it's like, oh, this looking good. My arms look good, my chest looking good or whatever. It makes you want to keep going. It makes you want to keep going and accomplish whatever goals you're trying to accomplish with going to the gym.
Yeah. But I'm on the opposite spectrum. I can do the eating thing. I can do the eating healthy thing. Give me some fruit. I can manage my breakfast. I'm gonna have my multiple small meals throughout the day. I too am a sweet eater. Mm-hmm. I am a very heavy sweet eater. I don't have a favorite anything. If there's sugar involved, I typically tend to like it. Mm-hmm. It's normally my favorite if it's sugar, as long as there are no coconuts in it. But even with that, I try to be conscious of how much of it I take in. Twizzlers is one of my favorite candies, and the Twizzlers don't have a whole lot of calories in it. I think it's like 100 calories, mm-hmm. I think, for 3 of them or something like that. So I get my sweet fix from that. I know some people like chocolate. Maybe go with the dark chocolate. A 60% darker chocolate.
Even if you don't, just don't overindulge.
But and at the same time, you don't want to deprive yourself because.
That's what I mean, not overindulge.
Well,
you're not depriving yourself.
Yeah. You have to, like you said, give yourself some type of small reward when you do something, so that way you're not fiending for it, and then, you've eaten 2 to 3 bags of Hershey's Kisses. There's just silver rabbits all over the place.
So anyway, we want to stay encouraged. Stay with your goals, set small goals, pace yourself, and if you fail this week, even if you don't start your workout regimen this week, if you start it next week, whatever, it doesn't even matter. Just start. If you feel that that's what you want to do, just because you didn't start January 1st, that'll mean, oh well, that was the New Year's. I guess I can't do it now. And my thing is this: a lot of people say like, oh, I'm going to start on Monday. Mondays don't have to be the day that you start off your workout week. It doesn't. It could be any day. Because the thing about it is that you want to accomplish a goal, or whatever. And also, I also want to say this: if you're overweight, you didn't get overweight in 3 weeks. So therefore, it's not going to take 3 weeks before you take that weight off. If you hear what I'm saying, you get that way over time. So everybody body types is the same. So don't compare yourself to other people. Just do your personal best. Mm-hmm. All right. Any last words?
I'm being sentenced to death.
I don't even know what that means. So.
You said any last words? Like this is
any last words for this recording?
I love you, Mama. P.O.P. Only thing I guess for me, overall going with the resolutions. All of them are really good. I think all of those are kind of a blanket of things that people go through.
I think one thing that should be on there for sure: drink more water.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Drink more water. But go ahead, finish what you're saying. Sorry.
But that would go into the health part. That would go into working out. But no, I think that those 10 cover an overall blanket
mm-hmm.
of kind of things that people go through on a day-to-day basis, and then because I guess it's the expectancy that when you start a new year you're supposed to have new beginnings, that they now want to set a goal mm-hmm. that was forgotten
mm-hmm.
at the beginning of the previous year. But I do think that they're really good ones. Everything on there is definitely doable.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely attainable. The saving the money thing, like how we were talking about traveling. It doesn't have to be a week. Just take a weekend and go drive an hour or 2 hours away.
Grab some of your friends, y'all can pitch in and you can save money.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people that'll do that. They'll go to Chicago for a weekend, 4 or 5 of them, and they go in on the room and they just get away, and it's nice.
Right.
And the healthy part and eating healthy and things like that. I think that those like I said, I like the resolution list, and I like that they're all really basic things that everyone really can do, in their lives. Nothing on that list is just so outlandish or unattainable.
And the only reason why I wanted to do the resolution because that's one of the things that people do in the beginning of the year. I personally don't like resolutions. I feel that you should just do your personal best as far as like living your life. And even if something comes to you in March or whatever month or whatever, you just like decide like, okay, in March I want to learn a new language, or in March I want to start, quit smoking or whatever. It's never too late to do anything or whatever. I want to thank Jermaine Ryan for being here, sitting in. Whatever resolutions that you have, if you want to let me know, hit it in the comments below. You can email me at iammaterial@gmail.com. Let me know what's the matter. This has been All That Matters with Material Matters.
Thank you. Bye. Hi, my name is Jermaine Ryan, and I love making it matter with Material Matters.